Hey guys, another day, another set of changes coming up from the Blizzy, and that's with the PvP well, I guess they're PvE and PvE hotfixes that came out on the 29th, which is today, Tuesday, for 8.1. Just a quick reminder, it's still 8.1, by the way. The new season, the new raid, that was all just content delivered a little bit later than the start of 8.1, which was back in December. But anyway, so there's a lot of changes. We can kind of run through some of the class ones, and then we'll jump to the specific shaman ones. Number one, DKs for Unholy. Death Coil increased damage by 20%. I'm kind of curious why they did this. If you guys play Unholy and you have any idea, throw it down in the comments. Resto Druids increasing their Efflorescence, which is, I believe, their AoE heal. Life Bloom and Wild Growth by mana cost reduced by 70%. A little surprised here. The Resto Druid's usually a dampening healer, spellcaster like an LSD, that type of meta. Usually people aren't too excited about that, but that seems to be the trend here. Marksman, all damage and pet increased by 3%. Seems like Blizzard's trying to push people towards Marksman. Developers know Marksman damage has been a bit too low when not using Unerring Vision. Demonology fiction issue where pets and other portal talent would sometimes not correctly work. All right, and then arms got an overall buff by 8% damage on pretty much most of their abilities. I was a little surprised here, but let me know in the comments, have arms warriors been just bad? I thought they were still good, but fury was just that much easier and that much better for sustaining themselves through their self-heals and stuff. Let me know in the comments below. But let's skip the raids and dungeons. Let's jump down to it. All classes. These are the ones we want to talk about. We're going to talk about all classes, then shaman. That's what we're covering in this video. So specifically all classes, dagger in the back effectiveness reduced by 10%. So if you guys remember, there was a 50% overall nerf in PvP of all Azerite traits that scale, meaning that trait that says it does 1,000 damage and really did 500 in PvP. So it's a big kind of shift and even the playing field, right? And now Blizzard has come in and they said, well, we need to tune a few things. And I feel a little bit bad for where this is going, because I already know and you already know too. Champions of Azeroth effectiveness reduced, a little surprise there. Treacherous Covenant, which is a new trait, I believe, that was reduced. Okay, so we're going to skip down to the shaman. So shaman ones are listed here. We're going to swing over to what other traits are. Echo of Elements damage reduced by 33%. Actually, this is actually a big one for PvEers out there. Stacking this was great, and it was a great way to get passive kind of damage for you in raids in Mythic Pluses. It was one of the kind of parsing the best on Blood Mallet, but no longer that's getting that blanket decrease of 33%. That's crazy. And so that's for Ellie. The other Ellie one, we'll just skip to it, is Ignis Potential. Ignis Potential increasing the crit rate here, or sorry, the chance at which Lava Surge can happen, and then increasing also the damage by a certain number. And that certain number is going up by 150%, which is great. And we'll come back to that in a minute because that's pretty interesting. Next, Ancestral Resonance. Actually, that's the only one for Ellie, is just those two. I'm sorry, Enhance Shaman. I feel so bad. Enhance is getting the short end of the stick. Already, it kind of feels a little weird, but then they're coming in with the 1-2 punch here. Primal Primer getting nerfed by 30%. Yeah, of course, guys. Now we have more traits. It's going to be easier to stack these things. But damn, a 30% nerf on Primal Primer, that is rough. This was one where your Flame Tongue at active, melee attacks with Flame Tongue active, increase the damage the target takes by your next Lava Lash, and that number's wrong, but it stacks up there. What I think was happening was Lava Lash with Hot Hand is actually hitting super hard. Shout out to Thunderbud for those. He was pumping, man. And so I'm sure scaling with this is just getting out of control with the item levels, getting ramped up and everything, so they're nerfing it. But they're also nerfing Strength of Earth. Strength of Earth is the other option on that first talent tier, which is Rockbiter causes your next melee abilities other than Rockbiter to do an additional damage. They nerf that by a third. That's crazy. That's on top of the PvP nerfs. That is rough for Enhanced Shamans in PvP. I am sorry. I am sorry. That is rough. Next, they did increase the mastery of Ancestral Resonance by 10%. This was one, your spells and abilities have a chance to increase your mastery by a certain amount. Heroism duration is increased, and Ancestral Resonance chance to activate is greatly increased during heroism, basically giving you that mastery proc, which Mastery on Enhanced Shaman pretty much increases all your damage except for physical. So that is cool. But that's more dampening, right? It seems not like these two were Burst City. You know, chaining those abilities was able to pump out some serious damage, especially comboing these two together, which is my hunch for why they nerfed them both, is because you can now combo them, and they're probably the best pair you can get right now, I think. Maybe Natural Harmony in there, maybe, but these ones are on-hit pumpers. So it's just my thought here. And then the Totem, which I thought this is a very strange change. 2% reduced chance of Thunderan's Fury Totem to spawn. To be honest, when I used it, it never was spawning anyway, so I was a little surprised they nerfed this, but it is what it is. This talent is where, we'll go to that real quick. Storm Strike deals an additional amount of damage and has a certain percentage chance to summon a totem, doubling the chance to activate Wind Fury. It was a little weird to see them slapping this one, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So that's really the Shaman changes, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about those. Now, guys, let's take a second to talk about the Ignis potential one, because this is a pretty cool buff that we got. So what it did is, last night I was streaming, and you can see right here, 377 additional damage. Well, when you take 377 times 1.5, 150%, and then you get plus 600 damage, and then you add back in the 377, you get 942, about 943, and if you look in game, that's about where we're at. But 150% additional damage, which is actually pretty cool. I thought it was going to be a lot less than this amount of damage at the end here, but it's actually pretty awesome that it went from about 400, now it doubled in half to about almost 1,000. And like I said on the stream, Ignis potential, it says it does an additional, like let's say it's at 950 now. When you crit, that damage is doubled. Now that's giving you an additional 2k damage. Meaning, if you start stacking these puppies, you're adding 2k, 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 a lot. You're adding like 6k damage to your Lava Burst. So, and then amplify that with Sky Fury, amplify that with other modifiers. Now we're talking about some big damage. I think this could do a few things. One is Control of Lava is viable, and it's ridiculous that I'm saying that, but it's going to be viable in a lot of circumstances, particularly raided battlegrounds. Listen to me, guys. Listen to me. Raided battlegrounds, Control of Lava build, which includes probably going Ice Fury. I think it's going to be great. Even arena against double caster teams, taking this will give you a huge chunking damage into your already pretty decently large burst window. So I just want to call that one out. This is actually pretty big. You'll be seeing me on stream using this. I'm going to be testing this out with Control of Lava and videos coming up, but you'll have to see it. Now, the other, so that's just what I want to hit on. The enhanced one, I have not felt the difference yet, but I haven't tested it too much. I owe you guys a lot of enhanced content. It's coming. But let's go down to player versus player. There are some changes I want to be pointing out. One, against overwhelming odds, this was the 400 item level quest for Alliance. That was 400 item level. Now it's 385. I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that that 400 item level 1 week is going to screw things up for the Horde? Or they'll make the Alliance stronger? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, let me know in the comments below. The next is they nerfed the trinkets. First of all, the safeguard, the defensive bubble shield, that is reduced by 33%. That's good news. Next, the Gladiator's Album increases your buff by maximum health by 20%. That's whatever. I'm not really too worried about that. Healing absorption from the Malediction Trinket. It will no longer stack, which is good news. But it's also, it should be able to be dispelled as well. I don't see that here. But that was also a hotfix that happened. So that's healers can dispel that off of their friendly targets. Now, for PvP, there's a lot of Resto got buffed. Aim Shot got buffed. I mean, there's a lot of things that got buffed here. Let's see. Flash of High, that's fine. Priest fixed a problem. Shaman, this is an interesting one for Ellie's, you guys out there. Fixed an issue where the PvP only healing increase to healing surge was incorrectly increasing Ellie Shaman's healing surge, which is actually unfortunate, but I guess it was nice while we had it. Basically saying that healing surge shouldn't have been healing for as much as it was. So it is what it is. I guess this is probably a little bit of a nerf to our healing. I'm not really sure when this would happen. They don't give you any additional details. It is what it is. I guess it was unintended. The big one I want to call out here, though, is the Warlocks. Warlocks actually, they nerfed the damage from their Infernal, so Infernals are less scary by increasing the damage per Soul Shard by 4% instead of 8%, which is good for that one-shots, but they buffed overall Chaos Bolt damage by 15%. That's actually on top of this. So when you Grimoire, you're going to get 4% per shard, but you're also going to be doing 50% additional damage anyway. So I'm actually really worried about the meta right now because Destro Warlocks, I think, might be back minus the 3-minute wall that they have. I mean, we're a little bit different than Legion, but man, the Destro Warlock meta is a rough one. It's a rough one. I know I'm saying that as an ally with Grounding, Shear, a bunch of things, but a lot of different classes are going to have a rough time. All right, guys, with that being said, that's been the changes that came out from Blizzy. Their first kind of balancing post, they in PvP at least, after they did that 50% blanket Azerite trait nerf, we see a lot of things for Enhance that looks sad. but I got to try them a little bit more. I'm going to be playing them in Arena in 2s. We'll see how it goes. But guys, I want to thank everybody for all the crazy support. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see in terms of videos coming up, questions you may have that you want me to answer in videos. I know there was a request for a purge video. I still need to do that, and whatever else you guys want, put it again in the comments. Let's go, and we'll see you on the stream. Big shout out to everyone that's joined the channel, which means clicking that join button down there and supporting me that way. Guys, with that being said, we'll see you on stream 9 p.m. EST, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Have a good one.